What's up, guys? We are back with a video. Skipped out the whole month of January. Things were just hectic. You know, the holidays were crazy. Then you start the new year. You're trying to catch up from everything else that was going on the end of December. But we're back. We got some footage coming together, and we finally got this 3S Beams Altezza engine fired up. Couldn't be happier. Gave me some trouble. Thank you to my good friend Chris Speed, who helped me out troubleshoot some of the Haltech stuff that was giving me a headache to configure it all, and we basically couldn't get spark for a while. And we finally figured out that the program in the ECU was corrupt, so we downloaded a brand new file, re-input all the settings for the Altezza and to work with the Haltech, and lo and behold, we had spark and everything else. So I will show you the car right now, and we'll fire it up to give you guys a little sound sample of what it sounds like with these 50mm ITBs on it. So let's check it out. All right, here she is. Got her outside because we got some fuel in it, and didn't want to smoke up the garage. This thing hasn't ran in, jeez, I don't know how long, probably since the owners had it. I want to say maybe 5 years since this motor's been in there. And good thing about these engines when they come from Japan is honestly they are pretty reliable, and from the most part, from what I've seen, good compression and everything else with them. So you guys know we did the custom header, did some some plumbing work to it, built a little custom water neck down in there. Don't mind the wiring because I'm just making sure things are working the way they need to so I can finalize all that. It's got an oil pressure sensor down there. I did all the number 12 AN lines to it. Next we have to do is bleed the brakes to get some brakes into this thing, and put a new clutch master cylinder that I already have. A lot of these things, and for this particular motor, are hard to get. We need to get a slave cylinder that we don't have, so that I'm gonna actually order that right now. I just wanted to wait for this thing to fire it up. And but man, these things, they sound great. They're 50mm EFI hardware ITBs that they make this whole little kit with. Everything's billet all made together, and it works great. Got the factory coils. I'll show you the ECU on the inside here. So this is what we did as far as wiring. Elite 550, which unfortunately Haltech doesn't make anymore, was a great little ECU for a lot of guys who wanted to get started in the ECU world. Was affordable. They did away with that ever since the whole chip shortage thing that started happening, and so they just make a 550. I'm sorry, they make a 750 and they make a Elite 1500. It jumps right up to that. So they did away with the Elite 1000 as well. But that's what's in here. Has a Haltech dash. Let me come around and show you guys that as well. All right, so I don't have a key for the car, so I basically made a little switch panel for it, ignition and starter. So we turn ignition on, you hear the fuel pump come alive, Haltech light comes alive, and we have all of our data right there. Let me move this, see if you get a better picture of it. There we go, a little bit better. So we got our data there. We got manifold pressure, coolant temp, air temp, injector duty cycle, RPM. We moved the red line to 7,500. Battery voltage, oil pressure, throttle position, and ignition angle. So here you see we give it throttle. Throttle position will go up. That's working fine. Oil pressure is working good too. And let me show you the fuel pump setup and all that stuff in the rear of the car. So we got a Holley fuel pump with a 100 micron fuel filter, using the factory fuel tank. Got a red top Optima in here, all wired up, grounded down here on the frame. And man, this thing really sounds great. I did the whole custom exhaust on it. It's got a MagnaFlow 2.5 inch, so it's quiet. Welded a 3-inch tip on here, and I will fire it up for you guys so you guys can hear it. Check it out. Then I'll do a video from the outside of the car. So she's alive finally. Good oil pressure. right, got the tripod set up for you guys. Let's give it another start so you guys can get that true ITB sound from the front of the car. Pretty quiet, believe it or not, from the back of the car, which I'm pretty happy about. I didn't want this thing to be terribly loud, so yeah, I'm pretty pumped up about it, and got it running. Like I said, just got to get the brakes bled. It sounds great. It's running a little rich, just got to put a tune in it. It's got a basic tune in it. I just threw some numbers at it just to see, just to get it running and make sure it would fire up. But sounds great, revs great, and man, can't wait to see what this thing sounds like driving. So like I said, I'll finalize a few things. Get the wideband up on the dash, which I don't have there, so I could monitor that. And it built some coolant temp there. She's at 121. I got to hook up the alternator as well. That is not hooked up, so just get all those little details done, you know, get the alternator hooked up and get everything basically working the way it needs to be. And I got some panels to put inside the car that I'm going to get all that finished up as well, make the car a little bit more presentable. But the car does need a lot of work, which the owner, I guess, will finalize once he gets it, whether he's going to paint it or do whatever he plans on doing with it. But for the most part, our thing was to get it running, and that's what we did. So pretty happy with it. I mean, these motors make pretty good power. This car weighs nothing because it has nothing in it, just basically has the one driver's seat in it. As you can see, I got this towel down here when I was working on wiring it and all that, so trying to be comfortable. He put all this, you know, sound deadening stuff in it, which is great, but I guess it's just messy for right now. All the factory stuff is back there. I mean, just a major cleanup the car needs, but most importantly, it runs. And so just to give you guys some details about the engine, the motor is basically stock. Nothing's done to it other than the ITBs and the custom header, and it's got a 2.5-inch full stainless exhaust with a straight through MagnaFlow muffler. So bone stock, even has the original timing belt on it. So it doesn't have the VVTIs hooked up because of the 550 cannot control that, but it's fine. Ultimately should make good power anyways. Like I said, for this kind of car, this thing doesn't weigh anything. Car's pretty much gutted out, so should definitely run well in here. And we'll see what it makes for power. I don't know if I'll get a chance to dyno it, but I'll definitely get some sort of street tune in it, and just get all the small details figured out for him as far as, like I said, clutch and brakes, at least front brakes. I don't know if this thing is plumbed to have rear brakes or not. Somebody else installed the motor and did all that stuff and all kinds of suspension work up front, which I'm not crazy about, but my thing was to just basically get it running, and that's what we did. So again, gonna focus on all these details. I didn't finish wiring the coils because I wanted to make sure that all worked and everything sounded the way it needed to. So I'm gonna finish all these plugs, get this finalized as far as wiring, clean all that up, and that's it. Get everything done, and I'll get you guys another video coming soon. So stay tuned, and keep you guys posted later.